What's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It is the 5th of July. It's 2019, and it is finally humid. Finally humid. We finally reached 80 degrees, and it only took till July. And that is so very out of the ordinary, inaccurate weather that I can't even believe it. Do you know what I'm saying? I wake up this morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, right in front of the sun, there's 5 giant X's already. The sky's already pasty white. Nobody seems to care. What are you going to do? Okay. I upload that video on my main channel, and I direct everybody to my backup channel. And I got, like, I don't even know, 500 comments saying that they couldn't find RFB2. They couldn't find it. We're being erased, are just being erased off of YouTube. When you hit 200, 300,000, your channel just starts growing exponentially by leaps and bounds, no matter what. It's just how it goes. When you have more than a half dozen videos with over 1 million views, your channel grows by leaps and bounds. When you upload every single solitary day, your channel grows by leaps and bounds. Unless, of course, you're covering things they don't want you talking about. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not putting out fantastical videos about crazy things and blah, blah. You know, 𝗏𝗏𝗍𝗏 thinks that July 4th is good. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Because every time we've tied all these little threads together that the elites leave us through media, music, songs, etc., for the most part, we're wrong. And when I say for the most part we're wrong, that's not exactly accurate, because I know for a fact that myself, Casey from Enter the Stars, Bernie Trump, I forget your name, my bad. We did stuff, we've done live streams while they were doing an event like the Washington Monument, and we know we've prevented it because we know they're watching our channels full time because they're censoring our channels full time. That's the biggest thing. All this censorship, the subscriber base going backwards, people can't find your channel. You know what that does? It sucks for me personally, but it also vindicates it because we know we're right. They're using social media as a doctor would use your pulse to see where you're at. They can watch social media on a mass scale using quantum computers, artificial intelligence, and make decisions. Do you know what I'm saying? They put out the vibe for so long that they were going to instill martial law that we just kept covering it. They finally figured out, you know what? We don't need martial law. We have told them straight up, we're spraying the skies. It's in every magazine. So now if there was a mass awakening and everyone finally went, hey, they're spraying the skies, they'll say, yeah, and we told you that. Look at all these magazines. Look at Harvard's website that's been up since 2017. We told you. Do you see what I'm saying? They've figured out that keeping people concerned about who's gay and who's transgender and etc., and who the president is perfect, because while everyone's not watching what they should be watching, they're moving their entire plan forward. But if all of us were putting out videos right before September 11th, 2001 occurred, saying, hey, is anybody else noticing the Twin Towers are in every single movie and caution 9/11, etc., caution 9/11, etc., it may have slowed it down, but I doubt it. I totally, completely doubt it. Now, one of my subscribers, and I'm sorry, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 boy or something like that, sent me an email, and he said, I've tried to reach you before, and it's hard. RJCJR rjcjr10@yahoo.com. rjcjr10@yahoo.com. Please just try to send me one email and wait till I respond. I'll eventually respond. You see what I mean? At any rate, he sends me an email and he's asking me, he's saying that he's got an overwhelming desire to be pulled closer to God, etc. And he was asking me for advice. And I answered him entirely honestly. And I said, wow, what an amazing tree or whatever. I'm in Swampscott, Mass. Mostly rich folks live here, and they have some of the coolest trees and bushes that they import, and they never actually lay hands on them. At any rate, this kid's saying, how do I get closer to God? I have this overwhelming desire to know God and the Holy Spirit. And I answered honestly, and I said, recently, I have been being tempted and pushed off the right track so bad. I haven't gone for it yet. Do you know what I mean? But it is amazing how the devil will taunt you. The closer to the target, the more flack you're going to get. My channel's disappearing. My subscribers are going backwards. I'm watching the numbers every day. I have 3 YouTube channels in total, and I'm watching my own channel not get. They're not telling me that I put a video up when I'm subscribed to myself. Okay, so this is how they're going to do it. I told this kid that the more I pray, it seems like the more the devil puts things in my way. And the devil is absolutely, completely, and totally real. Maybe it's not a big red dude with a pitchfork and horns, but it could be. Who knows? Look at some of the animals that God's created. You know what I'm saying? There's some pretty terrifying things. But I digress. Long story short, I have been getting tempted left and right. And the more I get tempted, the more I'm realizing it. For instance, the kid that's passing out $20 bills the other day. I'm standing there holding my phone, and this kid says to this woman, she won't take the money, her and her, whatever, her significant other walk by, and he says, Jesus be with you, or something to that effect, and the woman turned around and said, I'm with Satan. I didn't get that on video, but then you can hear me saying, what did she just say? And then she comes marching over going, there's a cop right over there. I'm going to tell the cop. And then she goes and grabs my phone.
What did she say?
What? Who's it?
What did she say?
Why are you going to video us?
I videotape everything.
No, we're just trying to give away money to bless people.
Okay, give it to me.
All right. No, I won the lottery.
Yeah, there's no web.
What, you're going to start some shit, the cop's right down there and I'll go get him.
You
better record that. You better delete it.
Yeah.
I didn't get that on video, but then you can hear me saying, what did she just say? And then she comes marching over going, there's a cop right over there. I'm going to tell the cop. And then she goes and grabs my phone, which actually turned it off, so it stops recording. But she sent the police over, and the cops are like, you're giving away money? And I said, I don't even know this kid, but I'm just standing here watching him. The cops do know who I am. You know what I'm saying? It was just crazy. That was one thing. But I have to understand, and I have to remind myself, and I guess I have to remind you. And the only reason I'm reminding it, I'm not saying it as an authority figure. I'm saying it as somebody that if we sat in the same room, we would probably chill and probably be cool. Not necessarily, but probably. The devil tempts you through a 20-year-old girl. The devil tempts you through just have a couple beers. The devil tempts you through those people did you wrong. Stay angry as long as you possibly can. Resent, hate, revenge. You know what I'm saying? It just keeps coming and coming and coming. And I'm one of those dudes, man. I grew up my entire life dealing with things by basically take what you want and violence. Do you know what I'm saying? So getting older gracefully, that sucks. I'm not good at that. But when I started looking into chemtrails almost exclusively, I found out that absolutely everything was wrong. I joined the military. I got in on waivers, meaning we don't even want to let you in, but you've passed I don't remember all the things I had to do, but I signed enough waivers, etc., that they finally let me in. And then suddenly when I get in, they put me on fast track. They take me to the shooting range. Turns out that I can zero my weapon in 3 shots. Now, all of you infantry guys, or everybody that's qualified, you know that you get the entire day to zero your weapon. 1, 2, 3, drill sergeant, I'm done. And then when I was on the firing range, I was one of those 40 out of 40 guys. I was Top Gun. So I was Top Gun, I was on fast track, and they offered me officer candidate school. I loved the military. I've cried for our flag. So then when I wake up, it doesn't mean I hate soldiers, I hate cops, any of that stuff. Because a lot of them are figuring it out. There's a lot of people that have fought and died for this country, that lost people on 9/11, etc. And some of them can never let themselves understand that 9/11 was completely perpetrated by enemies, foreign and domestic. It wasn't some dude in a cave, man. Come on. You guys have been to Afghanistan. You've been to Iraq. You know that comms out there back in 2001, some dude in a cave, 2001, people making cell phone calls from the airplane in 2001. None of that shit was real. This was all a CIA, George Herbert Walker Bush, which is why his son was in there. It's absolutely unbelievable, and a lot of soldiers know this. But what do you do? What do you do? Do you know what I'm saying? There's a reason that the government has started pushing the meme that soldiers veterans returning from the theater are suddenly dangerous. You know what I'm saying? America uses us as their military muscle, and then when you come back, F you. And as a matter of fact, he might be dangerous. Hey, he might be dangerous if he's not one of the 22 veterans that kill themselves every single day. If he's one of the guys that realized that him and his boys died because of a bunch of fucking lying piece of shit, usually backed by Israel scumbags, are the ones that started this whole thing because they wanted to do a new world order. That's the truth, whether you like it or not. I cried one single solitary tear watching the Twin Towers come down on CNN while listening to Howard Stern explaining it, because he was right next door, and I tried to enlist. The recruiter told me that I was too old and I already had a couple of felonies. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm talking, I tried to enlist on September 12th, 2001. I got an honorable discharge from the United States Army after getting hit by a drunk driver and breaking my hip and my face. You know what I'm saying? But I still got an honorable discharge. And they wouldn't let me back in. And right now, I'm glad they didn't. But for all those dudes that are contacting me and are incredibly reluctant to speak, I'll give you anonymity. I just want you guys to speak. You can keep it as vague as possible, because you know the guys that are on the fence that are still in will know what you're talking about. Because we got to do something, because this entire thing is speeding up exponentially. I can't imagine that Jesus would want us to let this ship go right over the falls without some sort of a fight. And as you can see, social media is totally, completely, and efficiently erasing us. People can't find Richie from Boston 2. RFB212. It's really easy. People can't find my backup channel. It's got 70,000 subscribers and no one can find it. We're being erased. It's time to speed this up, because they are. Or don't. I'm out.